Okay, shifting gears to today's topic, we're going to wrap up residential sales for 2024. We're going to do a deep dive into the three counties that I serve, that is Union, Townsend, Clay. Union County, how did the year end and how did it compare to prior years? 2024, and this is reported, had good disclaimer. These are reported sales to our local Board of Realtors, the Northeast Georgia Board of Realtors. It doesn't include FSBOs, that is for sale by owners, but it is by far the bulk of the sales in each of the three counties. In Union County, we had 444 homes reported as sold as of January 1, 2025. So 444 sales for the year. That compares to 474 in 2023. So we were down, 34 sales from 2023. So last year we had fewer sales in 2023. If you go back to 2020, give you how our market has changed. In 2020, there were 681 homes sold. 681 homes sold in Union County in 2020. In 2024, just 444. So a lot fewer homes sold. And here's maybe part of the reason. In 2024, the sweet spot, the average, the price range is where the most homes sold. We had 79 sell between 2 and 300. Between 3 and 4, we had 101. If you go back to 2020, the sweet spot was under 200, 100 to 200 and 200 to 300. For example, in 2024, between 100 and 200, we only had 43 homes to sell. Under 200, 100 to 200, 43 homes to sell compared to 165 in 2020. So pricing has something to do with our slower market, clearly. Now let's look at the average sold price and make a much clearer picture in Union County. The average sold price last year in Union County, that's reported sales through the Northeast Georgia Board as of January 1, 2025. The average sold price was $444,445. If you go back to 2020, the average sold price was $286,073. So we've gone from 2020, the average sold price being $286 up to $444,000. That is a major jump in price in just 4 years. I moved here in 2004. I've been vacationing coming up about every year since I was a toddler. When I came up here, started in real estate in 2005, the sweet spot or the average price, I'd tell folks, builders that would ask, if I'm building a spec, what price range should I try and hit? And the numbers back in those days was 175, 200. That's where things were, 175, 200. Then it went 2 to 225. Then it went 225 to 250. And then it went to 450. Literally in a matter of about 4 years, you think COVID, right around the COVID time, it began to really take off. Just got crazy in our market. That is a quick look and a wrap up of home sales in Union County, we're talking Blairsville, through the end of 2024. Everything is suggesting that 2025 is going to be a banner year across our country of home sales. We've discussed this many times. General election years normally have a very negative effect on the housing market, but the following year, normally there's a boom. You go back 50 years, I want to say I've always said 2008, we rolled in 2009, we were still in the housing crisis. There was actually a year in the late, I want to say it was the late 60s, where the trend didn't hold true. The following year wasn't that good, but historically this should be a very, very good year, and I know all the major players in the housing industry are forecasting a very solid year across our country. Now, switching from Union County, Blairsville, over to Towns County, Young, Harrison, Hiawassee, Georgia. We ended 2024 with 226 homes for sale. 226 homes for sale. That is down from 2023 when we ended the year with 253 homes, but that is up actually. Strike that. No, 2020 we had 421. 422 homes to sell in 2020. This year we had 226 homes to sell, almost 200 home difference. I really don't think it's that folks don't want to move here. It's that we have such a limited inventory now, and honestly, it's just costly. Homes up here are expensive. Back in 2020, the sweet spot was 100 to 200 and 200 to 300. Now the sweet spot is 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. Let me give you an example. Back in 2020, if you look in the price range of 100 to 200,000, there were 97 homes to sell in 2020. Last year, just 22. 22 homes sold under 200. If you look from 2 to 300, last year there were 39 homes to sell. If you go back to 2020, 124. So we jumped from 39 homes up to 124 in 2020. That is a major shift in home sales over the last 4 years. Excuse me. Trying to fight the weather, so to speak. This year in 2024, we had 41 homes sell in the 300s. We had 44 sell in the 400s. If you go back to 2020, we had 46 in the 4s and 82 in the 3s, but to a great extent, excuse me, that is because of the sheer volume of sales. Again, 422 home sales in 2020 compared to just 226 this year. Going back just 1 year, it was 253 in 2023, so we've dropped yet again in 2024. Folks, we're doing a deep dive and a wrap-up of 2024. We're putting that year behind us in Mountain Real Estate. Overall, sales were down, but prices were up across the board. We'll be back shortly after these commercial messages. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back, folks. Today we are wrapping up 2024 in Union, Towns, and Clay counties. We're talking home sales. We've already covered Union, and now we are in the middle of Towns County. In 2020, the average home sold price was just a hair over $314,000. 2020, just 4 years ago. Well, going on 5 now. The average sold price in 2024 was $494,581. So what's about 80 grand increase? That's a big increase. From 2023 to 2024, we went in 2023, the average sold price was $478,126 up to the $494,581. So home sale prices have continued to rise despite a fall in the number of sales. One thing I think that is playing a key factor in that is also inventory. If you look at the inventory right now in Towns County, we've got about 125 homes for sale. We had 92 a year ago and 84 back in 2020. So inventory has crept up, but the cost of building a home, the cost of everything is still substantially up. Now, finally over to Clay County, North Carolina, Hayesville, Warren, and Brasstown. We ended the year And this is again based on reported sales to the Northeast Georgia Board of Realtors as of January 1, 2025. We ended the year with 163 homes being sold in Clay County. And all these numbers today, I'm anticipating them to change slightly in that there'll be agents that had not reported a sale as of the first of the year for whatever reason, and these numbers will probably go up by one or two sales. That's pretty common. But through the end of 2024, we had 163 homes to sell. That is the identical number to 2023. So 2023, 2024, 163 residential homes to sell in Clay County. That is compared to 328 homes in 2020. So 163 homes sold in both 2023 and 2024. Go back 4 years, we're talking 328 sales. Double. That's a huge difference. So yes, we are selling substantially fewer homes. For those people who hate people moving to our area, because they're changing my way of life. And coming from Florida, I certainly understand that, because where I grew up is asphalt and concrete now because of all the folks moving to the beautiful Sunshine State. But the folks moving to this area is definitely decreased based on home sales. Now, as far as the average sold price in 2024 was $284. So a little over $457,000 in 2023. The average sold price in Clay County was just under $444,000. So that's a fairly nice jump, not huge, but a good increase. Now let's go back to 2020. In 2020, the average sold price was $285,847. That's $285,847. Again, compared to in 2024, $457,284. So that is a major jump in just 4 years. So when folks talk about the affordability of housing, we're seeing that definitely here in the mountains. We need the solution, of course, is more homes, supply and demand. We need some builders to come in and build more affordable homes. I know some people don't like the term low-cost housing. Call it what you want. We do need more housing at a more affordable price. And that's not a political statement. That's just supply and demand. That's a pretty basic economic rule. Finally, we're going to jump over to Lake Chateau. We'll wrap up 2024 with Lake Chateau. Let's see. We had 36 homes to sell this year on Lake Chateau. That's both Clay County and Towns County, Georgia. Lake's about half and half. 36 homes to sell in 2024. That's compared to 35 in 2023. So we had one more lake sale. But if you go back to 2020, we had 62 lake homes to sell in 2020. 66 to sell in 2020. We're down to 36, a reduction of 30 sales, nearly half sold this year. Right now we've got 11 homes currently for sale on the market in Clay and Towns that are lakefront, only 11. We started 2024 with 21 homes for sale on the lake. The most this year that were on the market were 29. In June, we had 29 homes on the lake for sale. In September, we had 29 homes for sale, and that was the height of the market as far as the inventory. Of the 36 homes that have sold on Lake Chateau this year, 28 of the homes are on the Georgia side of the lake. 28. The average days on market this year was 114 days on the Georgia side of the lake. That's 114 days. The time it took to sell those 28 homes was 114 days. That's actually up from 88 the prior year. Last year, we had 26 sales on the lake. That is on the Georgia side of the lake. Again, we had 35 sales last year overall. Quickly wrapping this review of 2024 up. On the Clay County side, we had 8 homes to sell this past year. The average sold price was $1,320,500. That was up from $1,104,778 the prior year. As far as there only being 8 sales on the North Carolina compared to 2023, there had been 9 home sales on beautiful Lake Chateau. Folks, that is a quick look at the overall real estate market from a residential standpoint. We'll do a wrap-up show on land. I sell a lot of land, a lot of vacant lots. Our vacant lot inventory, at one point we had well over a decade of inventory of vacant lots to sell here in our local area, but fortunately we've whittled it down. We still have a significant inventory for our smaller market, but we have whittled the vacant lot market down, and especially the large tracts. There just aren't that many large tracts of land anymore. When I moved here in 2005, a lot of the land for sale was unrestricted, and that's still one of the most popular things here, but there's very little land left that's unrestricted. Most of them are having HOAs and covenants and restrictions. Folks, as always, I really appreciate you listening. I'm looking forward to another great year with everyone here in our mountains and covering the real estate market in depth week to week. As always, thank you so much for listening. Hope to talk with y'all next week. Thank y'all.